Gonna focus? Great. Hey everybody, it's Mother Goose. There will be spoilers, so just a warning. So I finally watched A Shape of Voice. Now, A Shape of Voice is an anime. It is based on a manga. Manga? I'm gonna get roasted in the comments. It's based on a manga. This was one of, if not the best movies I've ever seen in my life. It was so good. From the very beginning, I was just emotionally attached and I wanted more. And when the movie ended, I was just sitting there like, please don't end. Please don't end. I knew it was ending because I checked how much time was left, but I just wanted the story to continue. It's not like it had a bad ending. I wanted more. I wasn't ready for this movie to end, and honestly, there really haven't been a lot of movies like that lately where I've just, it ended and I just said, that can't be it. That can't be the end. Like, it had an ending. You know, some movies you say, oh, that can't be the end because it's a cliffhanger. It wasn't like this. It was just so good, you just wanted the story to continue. And after, I went and searched the manga for its ending, which was different. The film didn't go to the end of the series, but we'll talk about that. I don't know how to pronounce any of these characters' names. I feel really bad. I'm just gonna type out their name and record Google saying it, and I'll insert it there.
I'm still a piece of garbage.
So, our main character,
Shoya,
as a child, he bullies this girl named
Shoko,
She's deaf, by the way. She can't hear anything. They're in middle school, and he's bullying a deaf girl. And it gets bad. He makes fun of her. He throws her stuff in a pond. So he's stealing her hearing aid. And so, you know, what a jerk. She moved schools because the bullying was so bad. And then he wasn't the only one bullying her. A lot of kids were. But he was the worst. But after she left, everyone turned on him and said, he was the bully. He was the one doing it. And so everyone starts bullying him till he's like 18. So that's like 6-7 years of just getting bullied and him being alone. And he decides, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. So he's going to take his own life. Before he does, he decides, I'm going to make peace with this girl. So he goes and he finds
Shoko,
to make amends because he feels bad. He knows what he did was wrong. And so they meet up. They become friends. He starts becoming a better person. He starts forgiving people and, like, letting them in. I guess not forgiving. Well, yeah, forgiving, but more like he pushed everyone away. After he got bullied, he just really didn't give other people a chance. So, which they really did a really cool artistic thing, which, again, I will talk about that in a minute. Anyway, so they become friends. Things are going really well. Him and
Shoko,
start falling in love. She tries to tell him that she likes him, but she's deaf, and she doesn't want to sign it. She wants to actually say it. And so she tries, and he thinks she's talking about the moon when she's trying to say, I like you. And so she runs off and is really sad. And anyway, so the story continues. You got the Dark Knight of the Soul, the big group of the friends. They have a big fight. He basically pushes everyone away again, except for
Shoko,
and her little sister.
Yuzuru,
They're hanging out all summer. They go to a fireworks thing, and that night,
Shoko,
tries to kill herself. But luckily,
Shoya,
went to the house to get
Shoko,
little sister's camera, and he sees her at the edge. So she jumps, he runs, and he catches her. And he's pulling her up, and he slips, and she gets a hand on the railing, and he's almost got her up, and he slips off the side. Luckily, he lands in a river, and he goes into a coma. Everyone's all emotional. It's really sad. It was honestly a really powerful scene. Like, I know I'm kind of just playing it off, but this was one of the most powerful scenes in a movie I've ever seen. So he's in a coma, he finally wakes up, they reunite, and then they go to a school festival together, and the film ends. Now, I'll get back to the ending in a second. I want to talk about the artistic style of him cutting people out. Everyone he saw, there was a purple X, like, stuck to their face, just to visually represent, like, he's shutting these people out. And so when he walks out, at the end, he's on this pier, there's a festival, and just, like, all these, like, stickers just, like, fall off people's faces to, like, represent that he's gonna give them a chance. He's not gonna push people out for no reason. Anyway, it was really cool. I really liked it. Great movie. Great movie. So that was basically the story. Now I'm gonna talk about the characters. And I loved it because all the main characters are the broken people, really.
初夜
He's been bullied, but he cares about his family. Before he wants to kill himself, he raises a lot of money to give to his mom so that he can pay her back, basically, for everything she's done for him. And he's constantly taking care of his sister's kid, who kind of seems like not a very good mom. I'm sure there was more in the manga, but it just kind of got left out. She looked like a really bad mother throughout the film.
初夏
She was great. What she was feeling is that everyone hated her and bullied her, and she internalized and said, you know what, that's my fault. Maybe if I was different, people wouldn't treat me this way, or people wouldn't be so mad at me. And so that's why she tries to kill herself in the film, and it's really sad, and it's really powerful, because I feel like a lot of people, myself included, when they get left out or treated badly, tend to blame themselves. And so I felt like it was very realistic, and she overcomes it, and she falls in love with...
初夜
But what I don't... Okay, so the film never actually states if they got together or not, but the thing is, they build to that. Both the characters like each other, they want to be in a relationship with the other one, but they never actually get there. And I get it. The story is about broken people healing their lives through friends and family and learning how to find joy. But if you're just gonna push this relationship in the film anyway, why not conclude that story? So that was a little frustrating. And like I said, I get it. It's not a romance film. But if you're gonna be hinting towards it, if you're gonna make people ship them, if you make it not just even hinting, you make it clear they like each other, they want to be in a relationship. The whole film's about them finding each other and overcoming their problems together. Don't just leave it so inconspicuous. Like, people want to know what happens. Anyway, so apparently at the end when they go to the festival, it's a date, but it's never like specified. And in the manga, they get closer and closer after the film ends, but then she leaves, and apparently it's left pretty like, oh, are they together? Are they not? Too. So that's just a small thing. Still a great film. I don't think you should hint and push and foreshadow things in a film for them not to have a payoff at the end. But that was my one real complaint. Obviously, it's like, I'm pretty sure it's clear they're together, but just state it. Just show them holding hands or a kiss or something. It doesn't have to be this long, drawn out, oh, let's be together thing. Just something. Anyway, that was my complaint. Anyway, back to the characters.
ゆずる
Was great. She was a photographer. She did everything she could to take care of her sister. And she knew that her sister was having suicidal thoughts, and so in an attempt to get her sister to stop, she would take photos of dead animals to kind of show her sister what death looks like. And so she has this moment where she's talking to her mom, and she's like breaks down crying, and she explains basically what I just said. And it's really powerful because her sister just tried to kill herself. She's fine now, but
初夜
is in the hospital, and they don't know if he's gonna wake up. It was powerful. It was good. She was a really likable character. I'm pretty sure in the manga she gets together with
長塚
who? He was really cool. He was another kid that got really bullied, and so him and
初夜
kind of came together when
初夜
saved him from getting his bike stolen. So that was really nice. It was really cool. sweet. It was great to see their friendship. When
初夜
had his moment on the bridge, which he should have learned from PewDiePie. Nothing good ever happens on a bridge. Anyway, when he has his moment on the bridge, he says some mean things to his friend. They end up working things out. But what's really nice is after the coma, this friend was the first one to be there to see him, and he cried, and it was emotional, and he forgave him, and it was great. Now, there was another girl.
直香
She was another one of the bullies, and she was probably the second worst, besides the main character. Apparently something was going on with her when she was little, and that's why she bullied.
チョコ
I bet it explains it in the manga, but it doesn't explain it in the film. But there is a shot of her and her whole family, and there's no mom. And so what I'm guessing is her mother died at the time, and she took her frustrations off on.
チョコ
Anyway, this character kind of had a redemption arc. She was a bully even as a teenager, and when
初夜
sacrificed himself and got in a coma to save
チョコ
this girl, like full on attacked.
チョコ
Like she pushed her to the ground and was like kicking the fence, yelling at her. She slapped her in a Ferris wheel. She was just not a nice person. But by the end of the film, they were kind of friends. It seemed like she'd forgiven,
チョコ
and everyone had forgiven her. So like, she kind of had a redemption arc. But I don't know. It was still left kind of unclear. Oh, and another reason she bullied
チョコ
is because apparently in the manga she had feelings for,
初夜
and she thought he liked her, which eventually, like, he did. So I think she still had feelings for him when they were like teenagers about to go to college. So that's why she still bullied,
チョコ
even though they'd grown past that. Now, there were a couple other characters. There was a couple more friends, and they were great characters too. But I don't really want to talk about them. I don't think they had much to add to the story. Like, I mean, the moms and the family were really important, but the other friends, you could have taken them out and had basically the same story. But they were still great characters. Now, I want to talk about the art style. It's beautiful. It's 2D animation with a little bit of 3D mixed in there, and it looks great. Now, there were a few shots and angles and editing choices that kind of made me feel like they edited the whole manga out, made one really long film, and then they just cut things out and put them together. So the editing, or I guess it's not really editing, but the animation, sometimes just I didn't like the style, but other times it was beautiful. I just think the shot-to-shot comps and transitions weren't as good as they could have been. But there was one really great shot. Well, I guess it was 3, but it's right after
チョコ
and
初夜
find each other when he wakes up from a coma, and they're talking and they're both crying, and it's an over the shoulder from this side, but it switches to an over the shoulder to this side, so it breaks the action axis, which is usually a no-no. But with this, I thought it was really beautiful. It was really artistic because the characters' motions kind of matched. It was like they were mirroring each other. They were both wiping tears away, and it was real quick. It's not like it was a long thing. It was like here, and then it was a wide shot on this side. Really loved it. A great way to break the action axis. Sorry, my cat came around. Come here. Oh, this is Grouch. You may remember him from my top 10 members of One Direction video. That's probably one of my favorites. Anyway, he was number 6. He's still doing good. Got a little chubby while I've been away, but he's doing great. Come on. Thank you. Anyway, so it was a great way to break the action axis. Now I want to talk about the music. Listen, there's so much nostalgia behind the music because I can almost guarantee it that it was the music from Dragonheart, the original. It was like the main theme sounded just like the main theme from Dragonheart. Obviously they're not the same. Maybe they are. Maybe they got the rights. Maybe they didn't tell anyone. But it just, every time I heard it, I was like, oh yeah, Dragonheart, this is so epic. But it was also fit really well with the film. And so I loved it. Not only did it fit, it brought the nostalgia. It was great. That's all I really have to say about the film without diving. I don't want to tell too much of the story because, I mean, I gave it pretty much spoiler synopsis, but you should definitely go watch it. I'm going to give this one a 10 out of 10. Hands down, loved it. Will forever probably be one of my favorite movies. And I definitely feel really inspired for the things that I'm writing, and the way it shaped its characters. I want to do that too one day with the stories that I tell, because they just were so relatable, and they were so broken, but there was hope, and there was joy, and there was sadness, and it was great. I loved it. So this has been So I Finally Watched A Silent Voice. Make sure to like and subscribe to join the flock, and I'll see you in the next one. Mother Goose out.